Good morning. Happy Monday. Today, we're going to talk about the one thing that every speaker kept talking about last week while I was at a conference and why it's so important. And we're going to talk about why almost every speaker was talking about it this last week. So, if you're joining me, let me know that you're here. I just got back from Las Vegas last night. I'm tired. I'm really, really tired. I did a lot of extroverting over the week, and there was 5,000 people that came to this conference. So there was a full long days of listening to speakers, taking notes, dealing with the crowds, and then every night we just decided to go out. And I wouldn't have chosen that myself, but I was with a group of people, and we went out every single night. And y'all know, I am not the person. I'm not the party person. I'm the let's put on comfy clothes and watch a movie and eat dinner in bed kind of person. So I'm exhausted from that, and I may not go do anything for the next month because I'm so tired from all of that. But I got so much good from this conference. I've gone to this conference. This is the fourth time I've been to the conference. This was the very last one that they're ever going to have. And I always leave there feeling inspired, feeling motivated, and ready to roll. And I came back with something a little different this time. I'm inspired, I'm motivated, but I came back to show up in a way that I'm not going to say that I've been hiding from, because I've not been hiding. You guys know I show up consistently, but I'm ready to take it to the next level. So let me jump into the chat and say good morning to everybody. Let me know where you're watching from this morning. I would love to say hi to you. And then we're going to get into it because I'm going to tell you what everybody's been talking about. And I might get my ranty pants on this morning because you guys know I might get my ranty pants on. I might get my ranty pants on this morning because this stuff hit me like a ton of bricks, and it kind of made me upset a little bit. It's time to shake it off. Okay. We got to shake it off. So let me say hi. We're going to jump into it. And then we're getting going. And if you're a note taker, I'm going to ask you some questions this morning. I'm going to ask you to put them in the chat for me. But I also want you to ask yourself these questions, and I want you to take some notes this morning to reflect on after we get off of this Monday Momentum this morning. All right. Let me come to the chat. I can see, listen, YouTube is hopping. I cannot wait to share some YouTube strategy with you very, very soon. I've been working on YouTube quite a bit over the last 3 weeks, and things are popping. I can see a lot of you are watching me right now on YouTube, and I just want to give a shout out to all of my YouTubers. My audience has almost doubled in the last 3 weeks over on YouTube. So if you're new to me, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. But let me come over. I like to say hi to everybody in the morning, because if you're up listening to me, like I'm ready to say hi to you. Good morning, Myra. Good morning, Dana. Michelle, thank you. I only look this good because I went and got my hair done, and that was a drag, like just getting myself out of bed to go get my hair done. So thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning, Sierra. Good morning, Carolyn. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning, Brenda. I was in Las Vegas. Last week, the most people-y place on earth besides Disney. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Christina. Good morning, Randy. Good morning, Jonica and Amy. Good morning, everybody. I saw a comment. Avis, I missed you. I saw several people. I stopped and took pictures with people. I met several people and I didn't, you got to come snag me, but there were so many people there. I don't know how anybody found me. There were so many people there. I was hoping to get to see as many of you that were there as possible. Good morning, everybody. Okay, let's talk about it. So I'm sitting in this room. I got my notebook ready. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Yes, I went to 4 days full of speakers. Okay. And I was very interested that I was like, okay, I'm going to learn some new funnels. I'm going to learn some new strategy. I'm going to learn some new marketing. I'm going to learn all these great things, right? And I was sitting there and speaker after speaker after speaker was talking about mindset. And I was thinking, I don't need mindset. My mindset's good. I don't need mindset. But it started to hit me. Everybody needs mindset. And the mindset of people, the mindset that you're in is either helping you excel or it's holding you back. And as I would listen to these speakers speak about different parts of mindset, it just, I was just, you should have seen my pen just writing in my notebook. And so I want to talk specifically about a few things today. And this is where I might get my ranty pants on with you today. But I think you need to hear these things. And you may be thinking, my mindset's good, Sarah. I don't need to stay. I need you to stay. Don't walk away from wherever you're watching this. I need you to stay because I need you to hear this. So Saturday, we had Tony Robbins was there. Amazing. It was amazing. He talked for 4 hours and you would have thought it was like 45 minutes because it was so captivating. But Tony Robbins said, only 5% of all entrepreneurs ever achieve $1 million in revenue in a year, in annual revenue. And I thought, that's crazy. And so I'm in a room full of entrepreneurs, right? And he said, in this room, if you've achieved $1 million in revenue, I want you to stand up. I'm thinking half this room's going to stand up because these are all entrepreneurs, right? I stand up, some people around me stand up, and I was very shocked at how many people did not stand up. And I thought, wow. And it sat with me because I didn't think that I was in that 5%, right? Like, I think I'm pretty just ordinary most of the time. I think that I just built a business. I've worked really hard at it. And I have not one business, but 2 businesses that hit the annual revenue of $1 million or more consistently. Okay. So I don't think that's a big deal. I don't think that's a big deal in my mind. And I'm sitting in this room with these amazing entrepreneurs and it hits me. And so I go that night, I can't sleep. So Saturday night, that's the only night I didn't go out. Like, my peopling meter was at a -50. I was like, I'm not going out. I'm going to my room. But I'm like fact checking this because I'm like, is that true? And I came across this Forbes article and I made a post yesterday as I was getting ready to go to the airport. And that article says that only 1.9% of women-owned businesses reach $1 million in annual revenue. And I was like, what? So now not only was I in the 5%, but now I'm in the 1.9%. And I thought, how can this be true? Because I know a lot of women in my circle that have hit $1 million in revenue in a year. And so I start to read this article and it's bringing back the things that were talked about at the conference. Okay. And I'm thinking, why is that? Because while it took me some years to get there, I've been there consistently for the last 6 years. $1 million in revenue in multiple businesses. I have $1 million in my subscription box, $1 million in my coaching business, annual revenue, consistently. Okay. And so I'm just thinking that it's normal. And I start to read this article and I start to reflect on the things that were talked about at the conference. And it says, because of the lack of focus, these are the reasons why people don't hit $1 million in annual revenue. So I want you to jot these down. And then in the chat, I want you to tell me which one is holding you back. Okay. It's the lack of focus. You're spreading yourself too thin. You're chasing too many ideas. There's too many distractions in your life. What's taking your focus? Lack of focus, lack of strategy. You just don't know what to do, so you don't do anything. You don't have a clear roadmap to get to where you want to be. Lack of financial discipline. This could be you don't know your key numbers in your business. You're not focused on profit margins. You're overspending. You're underpricing your products. And so this is what the article was saying. And in my mind, I just kept thinking, well, it's the lack of consistency, right? You might get excited and start strong, but when things get hard, the consistency falls off. So I want you to tell me in the chat, are you lacking focus? Are there too many distractions? Are you lacking strategy? You don't know how to get where you want to be? Are you lacking the financial discipline? Do you not know the numbers in your business? Are you just lacking consistency? Because I'm going to bust all of these for you right here, right now. There was a speaker named Trent Shelton that was at this event, and he talked about consistency. We are very consistent at things we don't like. Yes, we are. We're very consistent at things we don't like. I'm consistent at going to the grocery store. I don't like it, but I have to go. Because if not, the consequence of me not going to the grocery store is that I don't have food to eat. We're consistent with mowing the yard. The consequence of me not mowing the yard is that my grass is going to be too big and the city's going to send me a fine, or it looks horrible and I don't want to drive up to, the house. I'm consistent with putting gas in my car because the consequence is if I don't have gas in my car, I can't drive it. I can't go anywhere. How many of you work a 9 to 5? How many of you get up every day and go to your 9 to 5 and you don't like it, but you're consistent? You got to get up. You got to be there at 8:30. You go to work and you work your 9 to 5. You don't like it, but you're consistent because the consequence is if I don't go to work, I don't get a paycheck and I can't afford my bills, right? We're consistent at a lot of things that we don't like to do. Then why aren't we consistent in our business? The consequence to you not showing up, posting on social media, delivering your offer is that you don't have a business, yet we continue to not be consistent with our business. We're choosing that. I'm exhausted from last week. I would have much rather be laying in my bed right now, and I could be. But I chose to get up. I chose to go get my hair fixed and show up today for my business because that's what I want more than laying in bed. And if you're not being consistent in your business, you're giving yourself an excuse. We're consistent. Think about all the things you're consistent at in a day that you don't like. Why can't you be consistent in your business? There's not enough discipline. You don't want it bad enough. And if you don't want it bad enough to get out of bed on the day you got back from your trip and you're exhausted to show up, you'll not be successful. You'll not be successful. You have to want it bad enough to be consistent through the hard things. What I hear a lot is, I am not consistent with social media. I don't like it. It's a slug. It takes too much of my time. Okay, fine. You don't want to be consistent at social media. You don't want to show up and go live like I keep telling you to show up. Video. You're going to pay. You have to pay to get visible if you're not going to be visible yourself. So you have two choices with this. You can show up, be yourself, grow an audience, gain that know, like, and trust factor, or instead, you can pay to get visible, which is going to cost you a lot of money. So those are your choices. And if you're not willing to show up and you're not willing to pay, you will not be seen, period. And yet you struggle over here, posting, posting, posting. No one's liking my stuff. I'm not getting any engagement. You're not showing up. I'm giving you the roadmap. I'm giving you the strategy. And you're choosing not to do it because it feels hard. It feels uncomfortable. And if that's your choice, that's fine. But you're not going to get anywhere. You want something that you're not willing to work for. Maybe it's lack of focus. You think right now, I want you to write down, maybe you have a sticky note, something. What is distracting me from moving forward in my business? We all have things. Every one of us. I got a kid that plays varsity soccer and basketball, and we're on the road 2 hours for every single game right now. But you know what? Somebody drives, and I get to work for those 2 hours. I get my work done before we leave so that I can be present for my kid. That's a distraction. But how do you work it into the day so that it doesn't lose your focus? Maybe you're taking care of a sick parent. Maybe you're working a full-time job. Maybe you have multiple kids. Whatever it is that's pulling you away from your business, how can you get focused? Maybe that's I got to get up an hour before I go to my 9 to 5 and work on my business for an hour in the morning before I go to my 9 to 5. Maybe I need to not do this on the weekend and spend more time on my business. Maybe I need to plan to have lunch in my car so I get 30 minutes of working on my social media on my lunch break. What is taking your focus away? Eliminate the distractions. Some of them we cannot eliminate. Some of them we have to work harder on working around. But what are you saying yes to right now in your life that's distracting you from growing your business? Maybe it's the lack of strategy. There was something so clear to me this week that Russell was talking about. And he was talking about a map. I didn't have a map when I built my subscription box business. But I've created a map for you. Y'all don't even know you have a map. Y'all, some of you aren't even using the map that you have. I have created a multi-million-dollar subscription box business and given you the map. And anybody that actually takes the map and follows the map is being successful right now because the map works. You have the map and you're not using it. I gave you the strategy of how I built my business from 44 subscribers to thousands. All you have to do is pull the map from Launch Your Box and go. You have the strategy. And those of you that have used the map are successful. It's not a map that leads to nowhere. It's a really great map. All you have to do is follow the map. And it's okay if you want to deviate here and there and do things differently, that's fine. You can take the scenic route. But I'm giving you the map and we're just not using it. And I see it every day in our community. Every day. I've built the map. And it's not just my map. It's the map of so many of our successful students. that start a subscription box and they get their first 100 subscribers and they get 300 subscribers and 500 subscribers and 1,000 subscribers. Lexi uses the map every day. And I've watched her go from having to give up the lease on her building because she couldn't afford her rent to having over 1,000 subscribers in a very short time because she uses the map and she's consistent and she doesn't lack discipline and she doesn't let distractions pull her down. I watched Jonica use the map. And she's doubled her business this last year. She's doubled her business. The hardest thing is figuring out what to do. But when somebody is giving you the map on what to do, it makes it easier to just implement. And that's what I've built for you. But yet, somewhere, we've lacked the focus and we lack the consistency to get the map and just follow it. Somehow we get distracted and it's like, okay, Sarah has a map. And then this other person has a map. And when this person says, I need to follow this map, and then this person says, I need to follow this map over here, now I got 5 maps trying to go to the same place, and it's leading me in circles. If building a subscription box business is where you want to end up, all you have to do is use my map because it's proven to get you there quicker and faster than following 5 maps. When you go on a road trip, you don't look at 5 different maps. You follow one map and you get to your destination. You have the strategy. I've provided the strategy. And it's been proven to work over and over and over again. So you don't lack the strategy. You're getting distracted. You're losing your focus. So my challenge to you today, here's another one. Let me tell you about this woman here. She's incredible. And she uses the map. And she uses it in her way to build her business the way she wants to. And she's incredibly consistent. She's in that 1%. We've got to regain focus. We've got to use the strategy that's handed to us. Those of you that are in Launch Your Box or Scale Your Box have made a commitment to yourself to do this, yet somewhere something's distracting you. So I want you to write on your notes, what is distracting me from reaching my goals right now? Is it my focus? And what's pulling my focus? It can't be strategy because I'm giving you the strategy. So maybe it's you didn't realize you had the map. I'm telling you, you got the map. Maybe you need to pull the map out. Is it your financial discipline? Do you know your numbers? Do you know your churn rate? Do you know your retention rate? Do you know your lifetime value of your customer? Do you know your profit margins? Do you know your customer acquisition cost? And then how do you commit to being consistent? We got to stop giving ourselves excuses. I could have had an excuse today not to show up. I want my business more than I want to be laying in bed right now. And that's what we have to ask ourselves. How badly do we want our business? And are we willing to give up things to get it? This is why only 1.9% of all women ever make annual revenue of $1 million or more. Because we lose focus, because there's a lot of things that women deal with in our lives. We care for a lot of people. We're the glue for a lot of things. We take care of a lot of things. I'm not different. Lexi's not different. Jonica's not different. Tracy's not different. Jennifer's not different. But you know what? We get focus. We use our time smarter. We take the map and we follow it and we implement and we see success and we keep building on that success and we don't stop when things get hard. My map to success to $1 million was not a straight map. My map to $1 million in annual revenue went like this. And when I got here, I didn't give up. And when I got here, I was excited. And then I got back here again and I didn't give up. We're giving up too easy on ourselves. You see this Sarah, but you may not have seen Sarah who couldn't take a paycheck. You may not have seen Sarah who wondered if her payroll was going to go through. You didn't see Sarah who was waiting for subscriptions to run before all the bills hit of the business. I've been there. But you know what? I knew there was something better for me. I knew there was something greater. I knew I could get there if I just kept being consistent. And it's not easy. I've had several years where things are dipping and I've got to get it back up there. Tony Robbins talked about seasons. Everything in life goes in seasons. Okay. And we talk about spring where everything's blooming and lush and great. And then we talk about summer where things are hot and sticky and not as great as spring. And then we go into fall where the leaves are falling, things are starting to die. And then we're in winter. And he said, we're in winter right now. And I sat there and spring was 2020 for me. Spring was 2020. Everything was blooming. Everything was great. And then 2021, things started to get hot. Things started to melt a little bit. 2022, things started to die a little bit. Right? 2023, I'm in fall, full flesh fall. I'm hanging on. Now I'm in winter. Everything's dead around me. But you know what happens after winter? Spring comes. Our spring is about to come. And if we have held on through the seasons of our business, our spring is going to be plentiful. Everything happens in seasons. And it's our time. And what we're seeing is even though the economy feels hard right now, subscription businesses have a $9 billion growth. People are buying convenience. People are buying everything is on subscriptions. And I read an article also yesterday about how many big box stores are closing in 2025. Macy's are closing stores. Starbucks are closing stores. JCPenney's are closing. Party City's closing. Kohl's are shutting down stores. E-commerce is where it's at. These big box stores have so much overhead. They have so much labor, so much overhead, so much infrastructure that they're not surviving in this economy. It's our time and we're seeing it. I'm seeing it. If you're not seeing it in the group, you're not paying attention. People are winning right now. People are launching and having huge success right now. I had 4 of my mastermind members hit $1 million in 2024 for the very first time in this economy. We got to work it. We got to be consistent. And if you're still not showing up, I want you to ask yourself what you're hiding from. What are you hiding from? It's okay to be you. People are going to love you for you. And that's how we don't have to pay for our visibility. And you just got to lean into it. We're doing a challenge over in Scale Your Box this month, a live video challenge. We got to lean into it. It benefits us to show up. The real challenge is not knowing what to do, but doing something every single day. What is one action you can start today to move your business forward? We got to get focused. We got to pull out the map so we know where we're going. We got to get consistent, and we got to know our numbers. That's all it takes to be successful. But we keep giving ourselves excuses. We keep being inconsistent so that we can go be consistent at things we don't like. There's no better time to build your business than right now. We're seeing it over and over and over again, and the strong will survive. And I know I've not always had it in me. It took a lot of years, but getting those 44 subscribers was the start. And it was something that I could build off of. And that 44 turned into 75. And those 75 subscribers turned into 150 subscribers. We've got to start somewhere. And we keep building that momentum. You don't have to go make $1 million tomorrow. I didn't do it my first year. It took me several years. My first year in business, I made $17,000. I couldn't pay nothing for $17,000. I didn't have a paycheck. We can do this. And I'm not anybody special. I'm just an ordinary person that wanted something worse than laying in bed. I'd been laid off over and over and over again by these big box companies. I got laid off 3 times in a row. And I told myself, I am no longer going to leave my future in someone else's hands. And I didn't know what that meant at that time. And I didn't know what I was going to do at that time, but I wanted it. I wanted it more than going to work and clocking in. I wanted control of my future. And I didn't know what it looked like, but I knew I was willing to work really hard for that. I know you guys want it. So let's make a commitment to ourselves right here that we're going to get focused. We're going to pull out the strategy, the map that I give you. We're going to start implementing. We're going to know our numbers, and we're going to be consistent. And if that is you right now watching, I want you to say, I commit to my business right now, no matter what stage you're in. I commit to my business. And I'm going to let these distractions go. Fired up, y'all. Fired up. Let's go. Because I want this for you, and I know what's possible. I know what's possible. I know how my business has changed my entire life. I see how other businesses have changed the women in my mastermind, the women that are in Scale Your Box. Is life changing, and you have the ability to do that for yourself. No matter where you come from, what you've been through, no matter what. We can do this, and we can do it together, because there's no better support than having the people here watching, supporting each other. Just like my trip last week in Vegas, I had 5 of my business friends with me. We support each other every day, and you need that. You need a community, because being an entrepreneur is lonely. Nobody understands what we go through unless you're an entrepreneur. It is this all day long, every day. But when you get here, having somebody there saying, nope, let's get back up here. Let's get back up here. Because your business can look, let me find. You're going to take those little stair steps, but you're going to get here. You're going to get here if you don't give up when you're here. Let's get consistent. Let's pull out the map and let's get to work. I'll see you guys later this week. Have a great day.